Today is October 29th, 2019. So I just finished class from political science. We finished watching a movie called The House We Live In, The Power of Illusion. And excuse the glare, it's a nice, beautiful day on campus. Well, one thing that strikes me silly is the fact that there's historical evidence of political inequality, racial inequality, and, well, financial inequality. Learning about this indirectly through my English class, which I really appreciate the class for what it's worth, that there's definitely a hidden curriculum in this city college over here. This particular agenda that people need to open their eyes about things that are not normally taught in society out there across America, not just San Francisco in general. It's the fact that, well, the one common thing that the whole country can share when it comes to extra curricular activities and knowledge is financial lessons of anything. When it comes to public school, when it comes to, heck, most schools in general, both public and private, you're taught to be the perfect employee. Be on time, be a diligent worker, sit down and shut up. Don't oppose the owner or your boss. Well, that's why you start seeing these huge upstarts and upbringings of entrepreneurs when they come up with their own ideas, when they want to be their own boss. It's foreign to them. It's a crazy idea for them. Even in Marxism, like, that crazy asshole came up with only two distinct classes. Are you a worker or are you an owner? Just learning the basics of what it takes to preserve wealth is foreign to a lot of people, and it's sad. I mean, this is something I didn't learn until December of last year. But just making these little changes, it's really saved me from financial ruin, through personal tribulations. I hit rock bottom financially, just changing little things about my life that I had to do, little sacrifices that I had to do. You might hear a lot of buzzwords amongst YouTube or any other classes that you might have possibly taken. If you did, congratulations. If you did, you gotta, well, let me go steal a few of those words. Please copyright strike me if you have to, but you gotta live below your means. Thank you, Josh Breet. But just in general, very general stuff. You gotta learn how to manage your money. You gotta watch your bad spending habits. You gotta have some emergency savings in the future. You also gotta invest for the future. You gotta plan ahead of time for things coming up. Are you gonna start a family? Are you gonna buy a house? Are you gonna make rent next month? Aspirations gotta go higher than that. And it's crazy, I know, but just little steps like that can really change your life. I know it has for me. It might not seem like it to some people. Some people may think I'm crazy, and this person is driving way too fast. Then again, I shouldn't be jaywalking. But back to the film, it's scary for me for the particular things they talked about, because, well, even the fact that my other fellow veterans that steps, even the same benefits my fellow veterans, they don't, back then, during the era of Levittown, please look it up or watch the film. It's striking, just because of color of one person's skin. Even the exact same benefits that my fellow veterans and I have received, they were shunned just because of that. It also creates the lifestyle they got inbred into their society at the time. Yeah, sorry for the breaths. I was walking at the same time. As you can tell, I'm obviously out of shape, working on it. But the best thing I could suggest is people have to learn to let go of the past. Like, always try to overcome the situation that you're in. That's still true. Whether it's finances, whether it's business, whether it's happiness, there's always ways to overcome it, to improve it. It still exists. You know, kind of like this beard that I'm never gonna grow. Maybe you should try Manscaped out. But it's gonna be a good paper that I have to write for it. You know, and it's for people who are not even in the class or just people in general. It's always worth to expand your horizons. Look for new sources to study. Not just also stick your head in the books, but, you know, open your mind. Look to different sources. Don't just look for just one type. You know, for me, it was finance. Like, I didn't care about like the business call, you know, earnings for like certain franchises, like the state of the union, the cost of precious metals, how economics are overseas. Like, all of these things play a part. They're all connected in some way. I mean, this is one of the reasons why capitalism is still king, because learning how to figure that out and how to capitalize on top of that, it's how rich people get richer, you know, and it's how poor people can pull themselves out of their circumstances if they want to go play that stock market game. It doesn't even have to be stock market in general. Just through smart management of money itself. Because if it's one thing that this country can always agree on, is screw it, money can buy you happiness. Like, for people who don't say that, are probably people that don't have it. Quite frankly, I'd rather have it, because it's not just for myself anymore. For those of you who have families, think about your family. You got to do it for them. For those that deserve it, by the way. And for those that can take positive lessons and make it constructive, so they can better themselves as well, and their own extension families in the future too. You know, without going into too much detail for my life, it's been pretty bumpy. A lot of loss as well too. A lot of separation. And if I don't get the support from my family as a whole, then I'll just have to work with what I got. And so far, so good. Because if I can do this well by myself, you know, let's see if I can expand upon that. It's also important to be happy too. What's the point of doing anything if you're not happy at all, right? That and sleep. My gosh, look at that. Get some sleep. Widen your mind. Manage yourself. You know, be wealthy, be happy. All right, do your best.